All right, today's the 15th of April. Um, I fasted yesterday, was my fast day. I woke up this morning and was just completely drained. I mean, drained. It felt like I had poured everything out of me. There was nothing left. And when I wake up like that, and I'm going to explain to you why this really bothers me so much, is because, for example, yesterday I went on 2 or 3 walks in the woods. Um, I did my class in the morning, for a few hours, for a couple hours in the morning, then a couple hours throughout the day. I was in and out on it. I didn't eat. I stayed home. I didn't watch any movies. I didn't do anything. I meditated. That was pretty much it. And I laid down. I guess I had a hard time going to sleep last night. I was feeling really weird. I started feeling weird yesterday. Got this knot in my, like a tension type of thing. So I have an acupressure mat with the acupressure pillow that I lay on when that starts to come. So I'm perfect. Like I'm a controlled example, right? Like I don't have many inputs coming in. I'm not out there working in the public for 8 hours a day and calling my mom on the phone and having my buddy come over and knock on the door. And my life isn't like that, guys. I'm serious. My life is so streamlined and so unburdened from all the superfluous bullshit that you would think it would be very easy to peg down where that comes from. Like, it makes absolutely zero sense after the day I had yesterday, after the day I felt the day before, after the day I felt the day before, that I should wake up this morning and feel like that. And I just went and picked up this selfie stick I got off Marketplace. And it was just right across town, 5-minute drive across town. And I'm just, because the girl got back to me and she's like, yeah, come pick it up now. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. I mean, I'm sitting on my couch in my underwear and I'm like, I don't even know if I can stand up. And, I stood up and I put some clothes on and I was like, damn, I was like, isn't that weird how like motivation, like, those things can get you going, keep you going, right? Like, I mean, I literally had no energy for zero, zilch, nada, nothing. I mean, I was drained. I couldn't even look at my phone. I was laying there and I was miserable because I have energy because I'm fasting, but I'm drained and I can't do anything. And it's like, what the fuck, man? What a mind fuck is this? And, so you would think it would be easy to peg down where this is coming from. So on my way over, prior to her saying, come and get it, this morning for that hour and a half, 2 hours I was up, just laying on the couch, just like, well, okay, what the fuck do I do? I was trying to breathe. I was putting my hands on myself. I was just meditating. I was trying to feel where things were coming from. And it's very hard because, you're shallow breathing. I wasn't having heart palpitations, but it's shallow breathing and like, there's a heartbeat, like, let me see if it's going. Yeah, it's going right now. Can you guys see that? I don't know. But before I left, man, that thing was going right this whole morning. And so it slowed down a lot. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be able to sit here right now. But on my way over to pick this thing up, I was like, Michael, Archangel Michael. I said, Michael, cut any cords that do not belong to me. And I felt it, and it was like immediate. I felt a little bit better. And that's something, again, I'm going to do a whole video on, and I'm looking forward to doing this video. But I have my exorcism, right? For lack of, what better term can you use? You're exorcising. I'm exorcising these parasites, demons, whatever that is in me, out of me. And so where is this coming from? Where is this energy drainage coming from? Like complete energy drainage. Was I being sucked all night long by an energy vampire? I've experimented with this before, quite a bit actually, last year, with cutting those cords. And I'm going to start experimenting with it again a little bit more. Again, coming back around with things that worked before. I don't know why that works so well. It's like that code is written into this reality, or that particular way of speaking these words. Michael, cut these energetic cords that do not belong to me. And it just works. It's like a law of this realm, right? But I'm not for sure. See, and that's the thing, is I'm not for sure, because those cords, the last time I had Michael cut cords was probably like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. So, those cords could have been established right after that month, whatever those cords were that were attached, because I think, like, being an empath, right, any situation where you go into, you're open, you're like an open vessel. Even though you have boundaries, you're an open vessel, but you have a good heart, so you're not being, and you're established in your mind, so you're not being used as an Agent Smith, except for when your ego comes into play, like when that happened with me last year with my buddy and me, and my recommendation for the zeolite, right? Like these, I know these things are so simple. Once I can allow myself to experience my own sensitivities without any kind of fear, doubt, or worry, and trust fall into them, which I have. And that's the thing, is this is what I think is going on. This is what when I feel into it, there is something that has placed itself between me and my abilities, and it is still acting as a liaison between me and my highest self, because I tap into my highest self all the time in my meditations. But again, it's so subtle, man. It's such a subtle thing. Like, again, it's just gonna have to come with clearing more out, and just walking this path more, because as you walk it more and more, you're establishing that path, right? You're rewriting everything, all your programs, what you run off of. So you're establishing yourself more. And again, so then it just comes back to the patience thing, right? Like the logical mind, my logical mind says there is no fucking reason why I don't have this figured out already. My logical mind. and then it wants to beat me up and put me down. And then what that does is then that brings out the scared little child in me, and it says, oh my God, let me go to fucking Taco Bell, get a taco, get a soda, let me run down and grab a new TV and get some cable put in here and get a bunch of channels, and go grab a quart of whiskey and a case of beer and an ounce of weed and whatever else I can think of. Let me go make some phone calls to people I used to hang out with, because it's so, this path is literally like every step of it is just a trust fall, every single step of it. And so when you're doing so well, and you, like yesterday, I'm doing excellent, man. I'm tuned in. I feel like everything's just firing, but like I said, I started feeling, as the day got later, this toxin buildup or whatever that would be in the back. And then I had trouble going to sleep last night, and then I woke up at, like, out of nowhere, like 2 different times, 3 different times, and not even having to urinate or anything, just woke up, like straight up woke up. And I'm thinking that was me being aware of my energy being just fucking siphoned the fuck out of me, because I remember waking up and I was just drained, like my body, like I remember because I sleep on the floor, and I remember just even trying to roll over was difficult, and that's really weird, guys, because when I do a 48, usually, like the past few 48s that I've been doing since I started, when you wake up that morning on your 48, you feel good. You got energy, you're clear-headed. It's that feeling, like, and it's to be expected, and then to wake up this morning and feel like that, it just throws your everything that you had been building on and clinging and saying, oh yeah, this is right, I'm on the right path, and then you wake up like that, and it's like, fuck, man. But so yeah, I'm gonna experiment more with the Michael thing. I'm gonna get back to my experimentations with the Michael thing. I'm gonna start using it every day. It is probably what I'm going to do. That would be the smart thing for me to do, because now I can have, by putting these videos out here, I know it's out there in the universe, and so it's not me sitting in the corner of my house going, okay, I'm going to do this every day now. It's now that I've put this out there, okay, step up and do what you say you're going to do. You have integrity. You keep your promises. Okay, fucking do it. So it helps me keep myself more accountable. Even though I have great integrity on my own and don't need anybody else to hold me accountable, by you guys being human and so real and so raw and honest yourselves, and it allows me that safety, that feeling of safety, right? That feeling of enough comfortability to be able to, instead of like when I came home, I could have gotten straight into my lesson, or I'm working up, I want to start working up a couple pegboard talks, that I want to post, and just getting stuff sort of that are like here in different parts of my head and body, and then putting them all together onto a thing, just to be able to visualize it and see it better, and then put it out there for y'all to do with whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna start experimenting with that Michael thing, but again, I cut those cords, or Michael cut those cords, and it's almost like this class that I'm taking. It's like it's just waiting for your directive, because see, with establishing my authority in this treasury and governmental systems, right? The class that I'm doing, in establishing my authority for that, the most important thing is your mindset. Like this class has just been mostly just about mindset, in your heart space and where you're coming from, because again, only, less than 1,000 people have done this out of 350 million or whatever they say lives in the United States. So the amount of people that have gone down this path and failed is due to, because once you get your paperwork in, even if everything's copacetic, they're going to test you. They're going to do all these things to test you, right? And a lot of people fail the after tests. And so but all you're doing by sending this paperwork in is, it's not a demand, it's a directive. You're directing, and because what through their corrupt systems of slavery that you're born into through your birth certificate, they assume you are a minor, that you are a child, right? And that's how you are treated your whole life until the day you die, unless you file the correct paperwork to establish yourself as an adult and the authority over your straw man within the system, right? So all you're doing is you're sending in a directive. It's very simple. It's so simple. It's mind-blowing. But the hard part about it is here, because we were born into these slavery systems, right? All we've ever known is slavery. Most of us on here now have been trying, I mean, God knows how much some of you have been, more open to all this and weren't running from it your whole lives, and allowed yourselves to be open to everything that was going on. And so, how many years have you guys been, and we're still can't visualize or imagine what life is actually like, the gift of life is actually like, without the slave mind, like, thinking we're less than, or we need this in order to access superpowers, or not even just our abilities, right? Like we call them superpowers, but they're just our natural abilities from our birthright, as being eternal souls inside of this biological system. I have, my eyes are itching. They started itching yesterday, but it's so weird. And that's just a sign that my body, I know that's a sign that my body is detoxing, because, that hay fever type of thing, that eye itch, it started yesterday. But yeah, just so nuanced, man, just so nuanced. And it really is. It's like you look back and it's like, oh my God, that was so simple. But that being said, it's just a testament to how ingrained these systems are within us, within the mind, within the biological, every trillions of your cells, even though they're renewing and sloughing off, and you're basically a new person every year, 2 years, you've got basically a brand new body. But if that body is being, okay, so we're electromagnetic beings, right? Electromagnetic light beings is what we are, okay? So by being electromagnetic light beings, think about this, we attract what we put out, okay? So we can only hold as much light as what the density that we allow within these biological systems. And the electrical current charge would have to do with how they are, like our wide body area network. If you guys don't know anything about that, how the whole internet's running through us. That's what 5G is. It's fucking, we are literally conduits. We are routers for this fucking thing, right? And then they're pushing the 6G, which you are actually the hardware for. Fucking unreal, man. But being that, so if you're sloughing off, like your logical mind, your dumb cattle mind that just wants to poke your head in to put your finger on the pulse of the spiritual movement and see where all the kooks are at and if they've gotten any further, right? You go, okay, let me listen and let me be the fly on the wall real quick. You would think that if you're renewing your body every 2 years, I've been eating so clean. I mean, you can't really eat any cleaner, for what, 3 years now, going on 3 years, because I was thinking about it yesterday. My carnivore diet was actually like 4 years ago, because I cut out all meat. When I cut out all meat, that was in May, June, July, something like that, May, June, July of 3 years ago, because then my niece had moved in with me. She was here for 2 years, and then she's been gone for almost a year. So yeah, you would think, like, the logical mind will go, so that, fly on the wall, the cattle, right, that wants to justify his position in the system and put his ear on the wall so that way he can come back and be like, okay, yeah, I'm doing fine. Let me go get my Taco Bell. Let me go get my alcohol. Let me go back to my work. Let me check on the Redskins and see how Washington Redskins football is going, right? And so you would think that if these cells are regenerating, trillions of cells regenerated over that 3-year period, and I've probably had 2 brand new bodies since then, why the fuck I shouldn't have any fucking problems? This is how I see it, and this makes complete sense. And I've seen it like this for a while now, is because we're magnetic beings, and because what we're sloughing off, everything here is just slavery, just deification, like oh yes, master, yeah, that's what all of our cells are. Oh, go to work. Like, it just becomes routine. These cells, they know how to get out of bed, they know how to put on their shoes, they know how to get their cup of coffee, they know how to slough off to work, they know how to sit in their seat, they know how to press the button, they know how to fucking talk the bullshit, they know how to fucking, that's what those cells know how to do. So when they slough off, they're not all 300 trillion cells or whatever it is in your body sloughing off at the same time. It's, trillion here, trillion there, trillion there. So when the new cells are being magnetically attracted back in, think about what kind of cells this must be that are being magnetically attracted back in. We might be healing those cells that we're renewing this body with, this, and this might be how deep this whole natural system of our responsibility as these eternal entities, as this eternal soul occupying this body. This might be our contract with this physical biological existence, is when we slough these off, it's attracting the like kind. So it's attracting other sick cells. So we're actually having to, those of us who are carrying the weight of the world, basically, we are like renewing. We're like vessels of renewal. We're holding these energies and emotions, transforming them, sloughing them off as better and attracting, and then it's just slowly building up. If that makes any sense. It does to me, man. It really does to me. Because there's no sense in 3 years. And see, that's what I think. If I wasn't, if I had just 3 years dedicated myself to like exercise and eating right, okay, but kept myself in the system and not done these videos, not done all this shit, not poke the bear, kick the hornet's nest, right, of this matrix, and just fell back within its safety network. Oh, here's your job, here's your nice little salary and income. Oh, look, here's your structure and your stability and your routine, and you don't have to worry about anything. Just go to work every day, everything's gonna be fine. If I would have done that, I think I would probably, God knows where I would be right now, right? I'd probably be an influencer. I'd probably, have probably 20 pounds of muscle on me. I'd probably be, I'd probably be beaming this bright light, spouting all this fucking positivity bullshit. But because I chose this path of truth and committed 100% and dedicated my life to authenticity, I am paying the price by not being gifted the dopamine, the distraction, the veil that tells you, oh, everything's okay, just keep on going. The facade is what I'm thinking, the facade. Because remember, guys, I don't know if you remember this, my teeth were white, and everything. I was doing my videos for like a year and a half, and then all of a sudden I was doing that hydrogen peroxide mouthwash, and it took that layer off that was hiding the rot that was underneath. And you guys can go back and see my videos, and you'll know, how it was bad, and I had no idea. I was sickened. That was like a slap in the face. I was sickened because my teeth, I was always, like teeth was always like a big thing for me, like, your teeth, you got black on your, God, because that was always a big sign for me, like, God, that's something wrong with you if your teeth are rotting out of your face. And sure enough, my teeth were rotting out of my face, but I had the facade, right? So by committing myself authentically 100%, I no longer have the option of being able to put on a facade and take a break from this. There's no break. There's no break. It's a 100% commitment. And so I just feel what I'm feeling, and I feel this deeply. And I mean, I can go into this and really feel into this further when I'm not, whatever it is. Okay, so what I'm feeling right now, this is something that is sitting there that does not want to be seen. And I'm telling you, it's like right in here, that with the control center. And it's like, but it's there, but what it's doing is controlling my gut, which again, your digestive system is the seat of your soul. And we just got it so clunked up full of shit our whole lives. So it's sitting here, but not only is it affecting that, but it's also affecting my nervous system all the way up into my spine. So that's where I'm tracing all this stuff to. Those are my thoughts. I'm gonna actually listen to this video and see if I can go any deeper on anything. My stomach feels so tight. It's like my fascia gets so tight around my stomach, and like my skin is loose, like it feels loose, but you feel down, and it's like a boa constrictor. And it's like, why? I don't know. Man. Yeah, it's like it's so tight. When it pulls in like that, it's so tight. It's so fucking tight. It's like a boa constrictor. It's like your fascia is acting like a boa constrictor, just because when it starts to loosen, your ribs actually hurt. It's like you're underneath your ribs, everything's sore afterwards, right? Everything's sore and tender. That's how tight it got, and it stayed tight for that long, right? But anyways, I just wanted to jump on here and just get this out, because again, you know, this system operates with us being afraid to speak. And then we think we think if we don't speak that it's our little secret, you know, the universe is going to fuck with it. Well, that, like, it doesn't know, but it knows. It just, because you are not affecting other beings and shining your light out there, and you're keeping it covered. Like, let's say you're living out in the middle of nowhere, you don't have internet, you're you know, just, you've isolated yourself, you cut yourself off from everybody and everything, and you just live your little existence, and you eat your little meal every day, and you have your little dog, and you're just like, you know what, I just want peace from this crazy world, I just want to be left alone, which is fine. It's a lot better than participating in this system. So I'm not busting any balls for, you know, doing that. But there's a difference. If you were to take yourself from that nice little cozy existence out in the middle of nowhere, cut off the grid, just living, right? Just trying to be at peace, but not addressing the mental slavery and the emotional slavery and the spiritual slavery that we've been placed under. Or even if you are, whatever, but you aren't allowing your light to shine. You aren't putting yourself out there. So, you know, there's this hesitation prior to making this video, and when thought and felt through that hesitation, it's, Richard, they've literally got everybody hooked up to the internet. They know everything. There's nothing hidden. Everything is revealed. You know, like, maybe I can get away with stuff, put a safety net around, and and get away with stuff in meditations or whatever. But otherwise, as I go about my day and using my phone, everything's recorded, everything's known. It's all being analyzed and whatever. It's all being analyzed and conglomerated into these systems where they know you better than you even know yourself. And most people, for us sensitives, no, they have no clue how. They don't even, us INFJs, empaths, sensitives, neurodivergents, they want us eliminated because we are such a threat to their system, because they can't copy us, because what we are is so raw and real. See, everybody else, the regular, what do they call them, neurotypicals, the regulars that just fall in place, don't question, don't cause commotion, don't just fall in line, just follow the lemmings, right? They're so easy because everything they're running off of is just a program that the Matrix wrote for them anyways to run off of. But us neurodivergents are so far out there because we're unpredictable. They have no fucking clue, and we're so original, and the stuff that comes out of us is so different. And see, I'm not afraid to put that out there because they can't even copy it. They can try, but us sensitives can pick up immediately whether it's authentic, real, or AI, or this or that or the other thing, or if it's coming with, from the heart, or if it's coming from, greed, or if it's coming from ego, or, so that hesitation prior to making that video, of that old thought process of, well, I don't want to put this out there, I don't want, and it's just like, man, that's what we're trying to break, is that fear, that doubt, that worry, that old system that has us hiding until the day we die, just surviving, but anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody has a good day. Hope everybody's taking care of themselves. Hope everybody's remembering that they're eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful souls connected to everything on that plane of existence, occupying the most advanced biological system on this earth. connected to everything biologically, and we are literally, as empaths and as people who have dove headfirst into the abyss and have found our solace within the depths of the darkness and are shining our lights, right? And are holding this space for the rest of humanity and the rest of the souls that are trapped within their deadened meat suits that are being controlled and manipulated and just completely taken over by this false matrix system and their synthetic biology and all of this fake shit that, man, has them selling themselves out for just the cheap knockoff version of the original. Oh man, to all of you, I love you guys, man. I love you, and I appreciate your kind words in the comments, and I appreciate you keeping on your paths and being true to yourselves and being authentic and not sacrificing who you truly are for any of the breads and circuses or conveniences or trivialities or any of that superfluous bullshit within the system. So I thank you guys, and just stay strong, guys.